Hey everyone, did you know that you can customize the columns in your watch tab? This is one of the newer features that has been added into Charts by TRADEway, and I want to go ahead and show you that right now. So if you come up here, you're going to go to your watch tab. You can see I've got the David Mitchell stocks list pulled up here. And the default is just what it always used to be beforehand. So if you've looked at the watch tab before, you're familiar with what this looks like. You've got all these categories: the symbol, the score, the last price, volume, open, close, all this stuff, right? All kinds of information in here. But what if we want to look at something very specific? So maybe let's go ahead and take a look at a performance review, right? You can see all these different options that I can choose here. So let's take a look at a performance review and see what that looks like. Now, all of a sudden, I've got some different columns, like what was the change in the last 7 days in the form of a percentage? What was the percentage change the last 21 days, the last 30 days, 90 days? How about 6 months, 200 days, all this good stuff, right? And so how is this helpful? How is this useful? Well, we can go ahead and start taking a look and seeing. You see if it's positive, it's green. If it's negative, it's red. So what's been working and what hasn't, right? Let's take a look here. We've got PARR. That's been green almost across the board. MRTN as well. Let's take a look at this. MRTN. That's a green for every single one of these categories. Let's take a look. I bet you this is going to be a chart that is moving up, right? Just based off of what this is showing. You can see it's going to be a chart that's moving up. And you can see in the last little bit, it has been moving up there. Let's go back and let's look at that other one as well. PARR, that one looked pretty good. PARR, that one looks very nice too. From the bottom left of our screen, moving up to the top right of our screen. Just big picture overview. We're not saying this is at a perfect buy point right now, but this is just a quick way that you can take a look and get a good overview of what's going on. Let's contrast that with CRK. CRK right now is all red. I bet this thing's kind of going down, not looking so good. There you go. There it is. It was sideways for a while, and then the last little bit, it's really moved down quite a bit. I mean, I'm recording this in early February of 23. By the end of November, it was around $19 a share. Now we're down to 11. So massive hit on CRK there. So all kinds of things you can look at. They've also got, let's say you can choose fundamentals, right? Let's take a look at fundamentals. So you can see price to earnings information here as well. You can see future earnings reports. Take a look at this one. This one's kind of cool. Positive consecutive earnings surprises. So, did they do well, better than expected? Was it a positive surprise? You take a look at AMKR, 18 times in a row, 18 consecutive times they had earnings surprise. That was good. CCRN 15 times. So that's pretty incredible right there. What other kind of things can we look at? There's an options overview. Let's take a look at that real quick. This one's cool. I love this one. Liquidity, right? So it kind of gives you a liquidity number, and you could order these. I forgot to mention that earlier too. You can actually click on that column. It's going to order them. So I just ordered all of them, best to worst as far as liquidity goes. Now, when you look at liquidity in the form of a number, you're generally going to want to stay in the 70 or 80 and above. If it's below 70, you're really going to have a tough time trading that option trade well. It might be one of those situations where the market maker lets you in, but then you're going to have to pay to get out. And so that can really hurt. So you can see here as far as liquidity on the, and actually we've got David Mitchell stocks. Let's go to the options, right? Let's take a look at the David Mitchell options. And then let's look at the liquidity. Best to worst. You can see here, wow, Tesla 98.2. Most of these are in the 90s here, right? You're going to have to go down quite a bit far down on the list before we start getting to the 80s. And this makes sense, right? This is the options list. So almost all of them are going to be good for options. They are vetted for fundamentals. There's just a few of these down below where it's like, the liquidity might not be as good as it used to be, or something else is going on there. That's probably my favorite column on this section, but there's all kinds of information, right? Call volume, put volume, open interest, all kinds of stuff. You can also create your own, right? You can create a new one, and you come in here and you can grab any of these different selections here, and that's going to create a new column there. So you can do whatever you want, get creative with this, see what you like. I mean, it's simply, add them and so on and so forth. And you would save it. You can save the view name as well. You can see I've got one here listed for Bruggen one. And so I kind of have an overview of several different of these. I like to see which sector and industry it's in. I like to see that performance section as well. Here's the options liquidity, of course, probably one of my favorite columns there as well. So yeah, go ahead and take a look at that. Playing around with it, look at all the different ones and maybe create a list of what are some of the favorite columns that you have. And then you can go ahead and create a new one, and you can create several of these. I just created one custom view for me right now, but I could create as many custom views as I wanted. So you can go ahead and just customize this, make it your own, and I hope this benefits your trading.